Welcome and acknowledge you to today's sub-assembler. I hope you can all hear me. I hope everything's okay. And can you noise? Yeah, sorry about that issue. So, well, again, welcome to acknowledge you to today's sub-assembler. I know this was a short notice video. I'm sorry about that, but I was just so excited about this statue and I've been waiting for it quite a while. And now it's here and finally I got it. And I just couldn't wait to unbox this video. And I just wanted to share this experience with you. And now you can see today we have the Prime 1 Deathstroke 1/3 scale, and I just had to unbox the statue. Actually, this was one of my first one of my first statues which I unboxed. Which I purchased from the waitlist on, I believe it was the Sideshow website, and I actually got it. So, and just to say again, this is the exclusive version with the skull portrait, third skull portrait. And when I saw, usually I don't care too much about exclusives because mostly the regular one is better, but this one was one of those exclusives where I thought you got to get that exclusive version because I thought that skull portrait was just phenomenal. And I have this statue comes in two huge boxes. I just have one of those next to me here, and I just want to unbox this now, and I got you here to share this experience with me. So let's start with the unboxing. So as I said, this comes in two very large boxes, and I have the first one right here. And let's just move the camera into the right position. And just hope you can see it. Just one moment again. So let's start with the first box. And I've already removed the shipping boxes. And as you see, you have this beautiful art print, art boxes from Prime 1. You have the two possible, like, different positions of Deathstroke, and let's just open them up. I wish you could actually display the boxes, but unfortunately that's difficult to do. Just move. So we have the first foam box, and I believe this is the top side. And let's just open it up. Wow. Oof, I knew this was going to be a huge statue, but guys, this base is actually, this is the box with the base. It's actually bigger than I expected. I mean, I just gotta show you. See, here you have the arm with the Grim Reaper base, and this is the actual base. Oof, just ginormous, man. And I'm not disappointed. I'll just take out the pieces first. So let's start with this one arm that's part of the base. And you have this, I mean, the arm is like about half size of mine, like, but it's huge, man. Like, I mean, the details of stone on this just look beautiful. Next, we have one of the left switch out arms of Deathstroke. Here we have, I believe it's one of the right switch out arms. I mean, just look at how they made this scale armor of Deathstroke. Just looks beautiful. And here the second switch out arm. I believe this is the one for the arm for the rifles, holding it up. And this is the right arm of the Grim Reaper. So now, we're going to put this base. Holy moly. Wow. Guys, can you see? I mean, just look at that Grim Reaper. Beautiful. And look at all those skulls on the base. And this thing definitely has some weight to it, but so I believe that was everything for the first box. And continue with the second box. The statue actually came. I mean, I got the statue a bit later, but I mean, I've had the statue for a while, but it came with a calendar for 2020. But it's actually pretty useless now. But it's a nice extra. They actually give this to you. Uh, you might want to keep it as a souvenir if you open it so late. But 2020 is that's too long ago. Just a moment. Sorry, that was just some kind of interruption. And now we have the second box. As you can see here, comes with a certain with a certain different with different like, color scheme, but with the same images. And let's just see what's inside here. I believe the main body of Deathstroke is inside here. And inside here, I believe we also have the. Where did we put the knife? So here, I believe we have the assembly guide. Just put that one right here. And next, I believe this is just a kind of magazine, advertisement magazine from Prime One. And let's get them out. And this is a slightly thinner box, but it's certainly not less heavy, I can tell you that. So let's just one moment. Yeah, I mean, I can be an idiot, but I have the knife right here, but that was pretty stupid of me. See what's next. Wow. Okay, we have, wow, there are a lot of pieces in this box, including the main body of Deathstroke. You have all the knives, I mean, the swords, and the main body. And he's huge. And the different portraits. Man, can't wait to put this guy together, man. I'm really excited. So let's start with down here. And here we have the right hand with the katana sword. And the left arm with the other just regular sword. And there's a lot of tape in the packaging here. I mean, that's good for the protection. And then we have the right hand for the normal gun. And here we have the third piece for the base. You have the part of the that sickle. I mean, this thing is enormous, man. Whew. Here we have the hand with the rifle. I hope I can display with this, because this is definitely, I mean, the way you should go to display him if you do have the space. Here we have one of the shoulder armor pads with the shotgun ammunition. And Here you have the rifle. I mean the scarf. Scarf is actually mixed media. I didn't expect that. I mean, the main part is sculpted, but at the edges you do have this mixed media. I mean, it's real for like fur kind of material. Here for his shoulder, you have the two swords. I mean, for his back, you have the two shoulders. I mean, these swords are really big. And here you have the second handgun for his right leg. Now, here we have one more shoulder pad. And another one. Since we have 3 different arms, I believe the statue comes with 3 different shoulder pads. Now we come to the sculpt. This is the exclusive sculpt with the skull, I mean the skull, skull face, and that's why I wanted the exclusive for this sculpt. I'm really excited about this portrait. I mean for this portrait, not sculpt. Here we have the next portrait. And the third portrait here. Each single portrait actually comes with a separate set of these pretty fragile sculpted straps that are you put into the back of their head later on. But they are like pretty fragile and should be careful with them, I believe. But they're, to a certain extent, they are malleable. we have the third one here. And I believe the final piece is the main body of Deathstroke. Ooh, this guy is huge, man. Wow. I mean, here you have Deathstroke. I mean, it's full beauty. Beautiful, beautiful body. I'll just put him aside for a second to make space for him. Sorry about that. We just have to make some space for the assembly. Here we have the base, the turntable, and we have the base right here. Ooh. Actually made me kind of sweat, man. A lot of heavy pieces here. Hi, Cash. Thanks for joining in, Cash. And hello, L8. Thanks for joining into the show. And I'll just adjust the camera again so you can see Deathstroke. Here we have the base, and should be close to continuing with that. And let's just put everything else aside. And thanks all for joining in. And okay, so let me just bring the camera a bit closer. Oof, wow. Actually putting this statue together, taking all the pieces out is quite a job. Some of these pieces are really heavy. Kind of made me sweat, eh? Since I'm by myself, no one here to help me. Gotta do that all by myself, so. Okay, just give you a 360 of this base. This is a pretty large base with a very large footprint. And I'm very impressed by the details of this base. I'll just take a look underneath. Here you have the image. I'll just try. We have a picture of Deathstroke, and we have number 246 from 500 pieces of the exclusive version. And you see all these skulls here in the front, beautiful look, and the image of the Grim Reaper too. Great job by Prime One. So okay, let's start with the assembly. I believe the first part should be the left arm of the Grim Reaper of the base that goes in. I believe should go in right here in the front. And let's just see. Yeah. And he went in like that. Wow. And this grip of the sickle, it rages is quite a way here to the front. This is easily maybe 30 centimeters. Makes the statue much deeper. And next, should be the right arm or right hand of the Grim Reaper that goes in right here in the front. Wow, I mean, these fingernails are almost like weapons. They're really sharp. Should be pretty careful with that. And next, I believe, is, well, I mean, this is a real weapon, guys. You could almost kill someone with this. This is really solidly sculpted. I mean, the sickle, look at all these, I mean, these skulls like on the details. Beautiful. I mean, wow. Really nicely done. And we have this peg here in the front that should go in right here at the back. And let's put that in slowly. And wow, and you can see here where it's really broken and it looks really nicely. I mean, an aged statue of the Grim Reaper, and you can see maybe this is on some kind of graveyard or a church compound. Beautiful look. And next, I believe, should be the main body of Deathstroke that has one very big key right here, and that fits in right into the head of the Reaper. And yeah, now it fits in. Whoa, you can't see Deathstroke anymore. I'll just have to adjust the camera. Let me know if you can see him now, and I believe you can see him looking great. Ooh. And wow, just the body of Deathstroke looks nice. You have all these details, these battle damages of the armor. Beautiful look. Wow. Okay. So next, let's start with you have this right on his right, for his right leg. You have this gun pouch that fits in right there. And next you have I believe that's the right arm that should fit in here, I believe. And it fits in with a key that seems to fit really nicely. And next should be the shoulder pad that goes in with a magnet. Is it a magnet or, it's a magnet key. And goes in nicely. Beautiful look. I mean, I'm not disappointed. Looking great up to now. Wow, beautiful. I've heard this is a big statue, but this is getting larger and larger and larger with every single piece. So next should be, I believe, also the scarf for him that fits in with this there's this tiny key on the back, and that should fit in on his neck. And as I said, these small parts here on the side, they're actually real mixed media. It's almost like from a real scarf. It does look like a real scarf when you see it in person. And the texture of the sculpted part almost feels like a real scarf too. And what do you think? Should we use next? Leave in the comments. Or first, for the right hand, you have the option with the normal handgun. And For the left arm, let's start with just my least favorite version, or yeah, the hand is going downwards, not to take away all the exciting parts at the beginning. So I believe for that should be the hand with the, I mean, you have this kind of sword with the knife edge, and that fits in with a key and a magnet. And we have one extra shoulder pad that fits in there. You have two left shoulder pads, and I'm not here quite sure which one is for which, but just see if this one fits in or which direction should. Maybe we have the wrong one, could be. Let's just get that out again. Yeah, I think we were correct with the first one. So next we have the knife. I mean, not the knife. They have the two swords for the back, and those fit in right into his back with a huge key. Ooh, ginormous statue. Yeah, thanks for joining in, Tarov. And yeah, that platform looks crazy. You're right, it does, and it feels crazy too when you see it in person. As I said, I've seen a lot of unboxings and pictures of the statue, but none of those come close when you actually see the statue in person. And let's start with one of the regular portraits. And as I said before, each one comes with its own set of these straps, and those fit in with a key right here in the back. And I think they're all a bit different. And now we just have to fit it in. They are flexible a little bit, but they are, I mean, you should be careful though. They are pretty fragile in a way. And here we have Deathstroke in his first full complete way. I mean, wow, beautiful piece. I'll just take a moment and enjoy this experience. Wow, I'm really impressed by this statue. And whew, wow. And I'll just give you 360, man. This statue is just beautiful. A wonderful experience, man. I mean, especially this base. You have these. I'll just take the camera and give you a short close-up. And I mean, here you have Deathstroke's more like a comic-like portrait, and you have the sword and the shoulder pouch. As I said, like the scarf is actually, it's like mixed media, but this part here actually feels like it is sculpted, but it really has some nice texture. You might not see it, but when you touch it, you feel it. And for the right arm, you have this gun. And going down, you have the face of the Grim Reaper. Beautiful look. You have the almost kind of weaponized. You have those weaponized fingernails. Beautiful look. And just we'll come to the back. You have those. You have those swords and the gun on his side. Beautiful look. Certainly not disappointed. Let me know what you think. What do you think about the statue? Is this something you could consider buying? And I'm very much happy with this statue, and this is only, I believe, the kind of way I wouldn't want to display it at first. I would want to display it a different way. Let's talk about the size of the statue. This is not even the largest, the tallest way to display the statue. I believe the depth would always stay the same. I believe the depth of the statue is from the front of the base, like where top of that sicko, and all the way to the back, right here. And in centimeters, this is, you have, what's that? 90 centimeters. Wow. It's almost 90 centimeters deep. And depending on how you're going to display it or which angle, this might be, I would say the deepest way you could display it, depending on how you see which is front, which is back, and maybe the width. This way would be maybe 58 centimeters wide, and in height, this way would be from the bottom of the base to the top of his the sword on his back, and that's like about 78 centimeters. Okay, so let's look at some other switch outs of this statue and come closer to the way I would display it. So for the right arm, you also have the option to display him with this katana sword. And you just put him that way. So this would be a kind of full sword action or sword attack mode of Deathstroke. And just a moment. Yeah, like as I say, like this would be like a attack mode for the swords. You're just using the swords. Thanks, Dennis, for joining in. What a great piece. My favorite of the line. I'm not surprised. I totally agree with you. This is my favorite one too. And I think this is one of the best Deathstroke statues out there on the market for sure. Maybe for third scale, this is the best one. I don't think there's any other better one for sure on the market. And let's use a different portrait. Let's use LA, it says, looks like a clean break. All the switch outs for this one are all good for sure. I'm very happy for the packaging from Prime 1. I believe Prime 1 has a fairly good packaging. It might not be as good as XM Studios, but up to now, I only have positive experiences. And especially because here there's a lot of tape that keeps the individual pieces in place. And that's, it's a pain in the ass when you actually try to take them out, but it's a price I'm willing to pay to keep all the different pieces safe and undamaged. So we have another one of these straps to add to the back of his head. And I believe we have the wrong one. And each one is different. Like these straps, everyone has a different one. So you just have to be careful which one you put in. And here we have the more, how should I say, mechanical or futuristic portrait of Deathstroke, and this is the way they actually display him on the front of one of the boxes with the two swords. It's a really nice pose, beautiful look, and maybe I'll come closer again with the camera, show you the portrait. Beautiful look, all this mechanical look with this technological portraits, looking great. And okay, I believe let's come to the next switch out for the left arm. You just have to take out the switch out for the hand, and then we have to switch out the entire arm. And welcome Eddie Mendez to the show. Yeah, I love the statue. I love this piece, dude. Congrats. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that. And wow, I'm really happy about the statue, and there's still something stuck to it. Maybe they've Prime One forgot to take off during packaging. Who cares? And for this one, we have my personal favorite switch out, the rifle, when you're holding the rifle upwards. And wow, this makes the statue, or gives the statue a whole new feel. I mean, it doesn't even fit to the whole image, but this is just gigantic. And looking at this, welcome Stephen, amazing. Stephen says, amazing. Do you like it more than the XM Samurai? It's hard. I don't think you can kind of compare these, because these are two totally different takes of the character. That's my personal opinion. I love the Samurai Deathstroke. I think when it comes to details, the XM Samurai Deathstroke is one of the best Deathstrokes out there, because especially the base is just phenomenal. I think you have a samurai, as you said, it's a samurai version of the character. It's technically the same character in a different area, and that one is a quarter scale, and this one's to be honest, probably for someone who doesn't know the background story of the individual statues, maybe this one here, we have here, might be more of an eye catcher for two reasons. One, it's a much larger statue. This is a third scale piece. And secondly, maybe this one has a more dynamic pose. And the different colors here, you have these oranges. They're lighter and they pop out more rather than on the XM piece. The XM piece, it's more of a copper bronze kind of color, the orange, and it has a more metallic look. And it looks also a little bit more, the whole feel on the samurai version has a little bit of mechanic feel. Maybe, I don't know if you can see it, on right up there, you have the samurai Deathstroke. Maybe I'll just give you a short close up on the samurai statue, so you can make up your own opinion. But it's hard to compare these two, I think. But both of them are phenomenal pieces. Hope you can see the samurai Deathstroke here. Maybe there's an issue with the reflection, but it's definitely a phenomenal statue, even the XM Samurai Deathstroke. The base, I think, for me is the best part on the statue. It has all these details, and it's hard to show those on the image. But if you have seen the statue, the Samurai XM, the Samurai Deathstroke in person, everyone will agree with me that the details on the base are just like eye-catching and very unique. I'm not saying the base here is bad. The base here is different. It's just it's a real eye catcher, especially with this Grim Reaper, and it's also kind of skull face on the XM Samurai, but it's it's a dead samurai, like a skull. It's a samurai with a skull, the base, and both look great. I think the only difference between both is the size that will make out the eye-catching part. So probably this one will just pop out more simply due to the size. That's my personal opinion, but both are phenomenal versions of Deathstroke. So Polly says, this is by far my favorite base I saw from the 1/3 scale. I totally agree with you. This one is definitely one of the best ones. I think another good one might be from the Poison Ivy, Hush. I think that is a really nice base too. I have to be fair, but Poison Ivy is not really my thing. I prefer the Deathstroke. And Steven says, thanks for the detailed response. Both are outstanding. In a perfect world, it seems like that the Prime 1 Deathstroke on the XM base would be ideal. Maybe you're right. Possibly you're right. But as I said before, these are two different takes of the character. Maybe if you had the XM Samurai in a larger scale on the same base and with a maybe slightly more dynamic pose of the XM one, that would be probably perfect. Or if you had the XM Deathstroke in this pose on a larger scale, that would be the perfect one, I guess. But that's just a matter of taste. So you can't go wrong with either one. That's just what I want to say. And next, so I said, so let's just switch out the next part, like the portrait, for my most favorite portrait. What I've been waiting for up to now is this exclusive portrait. That one I would definitely be using to display the statue. And just fit that one in. And here we have the Sculpt portrait, and try to come a little closer. And wow, this portrait here is phenomenal. It's so breathtaking. That skull portrait with all the details on the bones on the face, just wow. Like, I just don't know how else to describe it. This is definitely, if you have this statue, this is definitely the way to display him with this portrait. I'm pretty sure, I'm not saying the other ones are great, but I'm pretty sure I'll be putting these back in the box because none of these comes close to this one. I think I'll definitely never be using this ones, I believe. Next question is let's just switch out the right arm for the gun and see how that looks like. Here we have the full gun mode. And here we have the rifle just going through the sky, and beautiful look. And wow, I'm definitely going to be displaying him with the rifle showing upwards, and I'm not sure yet though whether I'll be displaying him with the gun or with the optional katana sword together. I don't know. What do you think? Do you prefer the katana sword together with the rifle or the gun? Let me know in the comments. And I think both look great, but I think this kind of contrast of sword and rifle kind of also looks nice. And let's go back to the size. I mean, with the rifle, this is the tallest version, and from the bottom of the base all the way to the top, it makes here we have 80, pretty much exactly 90 centimeters. A few millimeters less, but 90 centimeters in height. The depth and the width doesn't change. So like 90 centimeters tall statue, I mean, that's gigantic. But I believe my adjusted Moji cases will be able to display this piece. So I extra kept the place to display the statue, and now I have him unboxed, and I can't wait to display him there. So I'm just really excited about this statue, and I just love all the details you get with this. Wow. I mean, looking at all the pouches, I mean, you have these on his belt, so much details, and all the single sculpts of the locks and the straps, even around his leg. Beautiful look. And all the damages, like on his knees, like all his knee protections, and on his whole armor, and all the weathering on the base. Congrats, Saba. Thanks a lot, Cash. Appreciate that. But definitely, I mean, these skulls here in the front, I think these are the kind of cherry on the top of the base. They give since their color is different, they really pop out on this very dark base. Beautiful look. And if any one of you already has this statue, like, let me know, because I'd like to know if you have your opinion about the statue and your experiences with that. And when I got that letter or email from Sideshow that I actually got this statue on waitlist, I was so excited. Like, I never thought I would get it, but because it was a waitlist, and I think this was the only time I got a statue from the waitlist, and that means it was meant for me. And so I was really happy about it. And as you can see, and now finally I had the chance to unbox him, and with all the beauty. I mean, like, I believe this base here is like one of the most impressive bases ever on a statue, and also large. I mean, it's a heavy base, but it's actually not. It's not as heavy as it looks like. And let me put it that way. It's heavy, but not as heavy. Like, that's just my personal description. And on the back, you have like more of these skulls continuing, also being lying there in the mud for many decades, years, whatever. And just a phenomenal piece of art by Prime One Studios. Congrats, Prime One Studios. And I mean, we all know Prime One Studios is known for their great pieces. And so I hope you liked this unboxing, and thanks for all of you joining in on this video. And even though this was on short notice. I appreciate all of you who participated. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget the like button, and definitely don't forget to subscribe. We'd appreciate it. And thanks again to you all, my fellow sub-assemblers and fellow collectors, for this great experience of the unboxing. So all I can say now is God bless you, God bless our statues, and have a nice day.
البين